to something very special. For the first time ever on Motorsport 101, we have an interview. So, without further ado, we managed to sit down, just before Mid-Ohio, we managed to sit down with Carlos Munoz, who was very gracious in giving us 15 minutes of his time, to talk about the new Bodykits, to talk about how his transition to Foyt has gone, racing on the junior scenes in Europe, all that good stuff. So, I'm very honoured to say, here is our interview with Carlos Munoz.
Pleasure to have you on the show, Carlos. First question I've got to ask you, being a fellow, 90s kid like us, because the show is full of millennials and whatnot, I have to ask, like, who was your inspirations growing up in terms of motorsport, and like what made you want to get into motorsport itself?
I think I came into motorsport not because of motivations of any driver. I think my father, I always liked the motorsport, and one day he asked me, "Hey, you want to do a go-kart school in Colombia and Bogota?" And I said, "Yeah, why not?" So I started there. I love it. I started racing, and of course, my really good example was Juan. Juan Pablo Montoya. When I was growing up, he was in Formula One, winning races, and now he's right now he's coming in the track to see me to say hi. Not right now, so so we'll see. He was one of the examples for sure growing up.
Yeah, okay, thanks for that, Carlos. Yeah, just quick, we'll have one as well quickly. That's what's interesting, because obviously a lot of this show is based in Europe, and you started a lot of your professional career in Europe. So, what made you want to change like the young ladders between the Europe and then obviously going to America to take part in Indy Lights?
Yeah, I was racing in Europe, and I think the Europe for sure is the school of all of the drivers. I did go-karts, and then I did the go-karts in Europe, in Italy. I went to, when I was 13, I said, okay, let's go, to try in Europe. So I went to live by myself there with my kid most of the time. And, I was growing up there in Europe in Formula Renault and Formula 3. And then, my last year Formula 3 was not the greatest, and the next day was GP2, and it was a lot of budget, to find, and was really tough, So, and then we said, after UK, maybe we can find budget for 1 year. What happened then after that? You have Formula One that the budgets are 20 million, so you need a big sponsor behind you. So we said, okay, let's give a last chance and let's try in American Indy Light. And if it works out, you are an IndyCar driver. So right now, I think it worked pretty good. So hopefully, and I love the racing here. I think I love all the atmosphere much better. The atmosphere of the people, how the racing is so much different from their mentality, right? Here is more a friendly environment, but at the same time, on track, like, everyone is pushing each other to the limit, An IndyCar series for me is one of the toughest series right now. Like time-wise, like it's so close from each other, all of them, from only one test to another, And so one test was in last practice 14, I think it was, and one test was from P9. So it's so close, and 2 tests or 3 tests would have been in P5. So it's really close, and I think it's been good so far on my American dream.
Yeah, like one thing I wanted to ask, like about the series being so close, the drivers being so close to one another. You've been like extremely proficient at the Super Speedways. Like, yes, everyone knows that you've almost won the Indy 500 twice, but when you were back in Lights, you won at Fontana twice, you won at Pocono. Like not to get into trade secrets, but like, how are you so good at the Super Speedways?
Yeah, right in the beginning, I always say when you have a good car, it's always much easier, makes your life much easier, like to learn and to pick up speed. And we saw with Fernando, he had a super good car, and progression was easier for everyone. So I always had a great car, but even though he also my teammate, most of the races, I was the one that beat them. I know in my first test, it was an Indy Lights in Fontana, was the fastest. I know it's something that it clicked, I think I can learn the car. I connect really well to the car. If the car is doing something, I think I know what to do line-wise or throttle-wise to help the car. This year was a little bit more tough for me than the 500 for sure. I didn't have the as competitive car, but I think for what we got, the P10 we did, it was the best we could have done.
Yeah, I completely get you, Carlos. Like, it really feels like when you really have the right car under you, you can almost do anything.
Yeah, like, it helps you, but in the end of the day, whoever wins is also the best driver. So I had like 4 teammates in Andretti, and all of them were so quick, but in the end of the day, it's the driver that makes the difference if you have the same car than your teammate.
Yeah, Carlos, I wanted to ask regarding that. Obviously, like your entire time in America so far, you've been with the Andretti team, and obviously this year your first real big switch going from Andretti to Foyt. How has that been for you, acclimatizing to a new team and a new challenge?
Yeah, for sure. I was in Andretti for when I first came to American Indy Live 2 years, and in IndyCar for 3, so 5 years with the same team. It was great. We treated me really well. I was happy there. But, racing is tough. Finding money for everyone, There's lots of your sponsor last year, of course, Marco Andretti is a big name on the sport, and so he was the priority to find the sponsors. Maybe I could have the deal for only a few races, but the Foyt, came along and he asked me, we wanted you for this year. We want to make big changes. I know it's going to be hard, but we want to make big changes. So this year we started almost a team from zero, all new engineers, series package. And if I'm honest, it's been a tough year for us, Okay. Some races we have shown some good speed, like I think Long Beach, some speed. Even I think us in the first corner with Greyhound. Texas, it's not like we're so far off. It's just like IndyCar is so close, like it's like you say, you find 4 10s, it's 10 positions or 5 positions, and it makes you look better, I think what happened this year is like I think our grip, our car is same competitive than last year, but everyone got better, like Coyne. They've hired two engineers, really good engineers from KV and Sebastian, and they have a really competitive car. Andretti, like we were struggling the whole time the past 2 years in street and road courses. They hired a guy from Carpenter, they hired a guy from Ganassi, and suddenly they are quite competitive now. So everyone move up, Penske, they always better. It's the same from Ganassi, the shifter around that. They really had to work a lot, so I think they worked really hard in the preseason. And just everyone, I think, just improved a little bit, and we stayed behind, Also, our preseason started a little bit late with the engineers. We couldn't do any much wind tunnel or secretary is when you try the dampers. We couldn't do anything of that. And teams spent a lot of days there. So, from what we got, I think we're doing a good job. Hopefully in those season, we can do a lot of more jobs of those jobs and take this next level.
Yeah. Also, obviously going into that, obviously with Chevy and whatnot, we obviously saw earlier this week the IndyCar revealed their new 2018 car and the new aero kit. So are you excited to get in the car and give them a spin? Like, how do you feel about them going in?
Yeah, for sure it looks awesome, And the end of the year, I tested more or less what is going to be the car with this aero kit, without the pods, with more downforce in the bottom of the car. And for sure, when I tested, it's not the same car, right? But it was kind of mentality we're going to go with more bottom downforce in the car. And the car was more predictable, was nicer, and I think it's going to help everyone for racing, for the racing aspect. Even now, it's really good. The show we put on track, I think it's going to be even better next year. For sure, it looks great, the car. It looks super nice. He looks super nice, really aggressive.
It reminds me of the cars from the 90s.
Yeah, even when you see it in person, it looks really small compared to what we got now because there's no bumpers, there is no the winglet, And when you see it now, it looks even smaller. So we'll see. For sure, it's going to be nice. I think everyone in the IndyCar was happy to be, again, everyone in the same hierarchy. Now it's going to be about engine, about power, you know. So the bad thing for the drivers is, like, I think we are not going to test it into next year, to January, because I think the team doesn't get them until January in the first kit. Manufacturer does, but there's so many drivers that can test it. So, yeah, that's the only downside, that you cannot try it into January.
Yep. Again, the cars look great, so I'm really looking forward to seeing that. I know you're a busy man. I know you've got free practice to shoot off to in a second, but just one more question. As a guy that follows you on Instagram, I have to ask, what is it with you and Minions?
I know everything about your girlfriend. I think makes her happy.
No.
So, in other words, you've been a bit of a family man, basically, yeah?
Yeah, so sometimes, I always talk about racing here, racing there, and she sacrifices, and sometimes I have to sacrifice as well. I know, I like it. I think it was a long time ago, go to Orlando, many years, so I say, to my girlfriend, 1 week, let's go, and, and just to make laugh, we bought some Minion shirts, and we went. It was fun.
Carlos, it's been an absolute pleasure. You've been our very first interview on this podcast, and you've been fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck at Mid-Ohio this weekend.
Thank you very much for your call time, and thank you very much. Bye-bye.
And I'd just like to say as well, a very special thank you to AJ Foyt Racing and, of course, Carlos for gracing us with his time. And a landmark moment for us, our first interview. Yay! It only took us 97 episodes.
Yes. Our first interview, if you don't count Bike Live.